well-being. Whether you work at home, on the road, or in an organization, join Dr. Madonna every Monday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon for Words Matter. Communication for joyful workplaces.
Hello, good morning, Dr. Madonna.
And good morning. Is that Kai?
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
I'm great, on yourself?
Great, great. Where's my music? I didn't hear anything. Did my song play?
Oh no, yeah, I just played.
So I need my song, man. Pump up the music. Come on.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, so you're not ready for me, and I'm ready for you, Kyle.
What song would you like to be played?
It's all right. Let's dive into the program Words Matter, and it's a lovely Monday morning here in Trinidad and Tobago, wherever you are. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Dr. Madonna, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company. And I thought I'd say hello to our regular callers and viewers. So how are you doing? And I trust you had a good weekend, Kyle. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, I had a good one. And yourself? Hello?
Our dear brother Kyle. Are you there, Kyle?
Yes, I am here. I said I had a great weekend, and you?
Oh, great. Okay, what did you do this weekend? Past.
Home, relaxing.
Home relaxing, and it was a great weekend for you. I got you, Kyle. And your colleague, who is normally there, Pastor Google, tends to have a packed weekend. So I trust everybody had a meaningful weekend. I had to do, there are things that women must do. I shouldn't say must do. Some aspect of the chores. Let me put it like that, because I had to divide it up, all the chores and so on, and then prepare for the week ahead for my training and so on. So preparation, both physical, mental, spiritual preparation, and so on for this new week. Today I want to use as a jumping off point. Our focus is on listening and deep levels of listening and the implications for opportunities, business opportunities, particularly community opportunities, and use as a base an excerpt of the presentation of the Honorable Minister of Finance on Budget Day, September the 30th. Kyle, do you listen to the budget? You're a young man. Do you
Not
listen?
all the time, though. I'll probably go back and listen to it after, but
You've
don't really
you've done that before. You return to it and listen to it. You've ever done that?
I haven't yet, no, not the recent one.
In all the years, you've not done that. And sometimes we just let these things pass by without recognizing the opportunities presented, and that's what I want to focus a bit on. It's just around listening for opportunities, critiquing kind of listening and so on. So the budget present, now it was a very long budget, I have to admit. It was 5 hours and 17 minutes. You may be too young to know that the first Prime Minister used to have these long budgets too. So I don't know if there's a competition with this Finance Minister and the first Prime Minister, but yes, it was very long. Did you? So you didn't manage to get in a bit or two, a minute or two of it?
No, not yet.
Is it because you're not interested?
I wouldn't say.
Kyle, is it that you're not interested in it?
I wouldn't say lack of interest. Just
What would you say?
work and home, have classes and stuff, so I didn't get.
You have competing interests, and those interests more pressing than listening to the national budget. Understood, understood. And these are some of the realities that we may have other things going on, and we prioritize But for persons who are in business, for persons who want to get into business, and persons who are interested in the direction of the country and how they could make a contribution, this is a very important presentation, the presentation of the national budget. But first off, definitely it was quite a long, so it really, I can't see anybody except perhaps the parliamentarians who would sit for a 5-hour, 17-minute presentation. And I can tell you at some points, the speaker had to kind of wrap them on the knuckles because they were doing other things other than listening to the Minister of Finance. And I can't blame them. 5 hours, 17 seconds, that is a bit of a stretch, more than a bit. It was very long. So that people were zoning in and out of it. And that's the downside of an overly long presentation. You cannot sustain the interest of people for such a long period of time. So I don't know if it was deliberate by the Minister of Finance because he didn't want people to pay attention throughout, so he could slip in some things that people may not observe. I don't know if it was deliberate, but that really put a strain on our attention and our interest. Barring that, there are some broader questions, and I'm going to play a clip pretty soon from the budget to highlight some points. I shared about listening and how deep, how profound listening is in the art of communication, in getting and in seeing and seizing business opportunities. The art of listening is so profound and essential. And I'll do that. And then I want to comment or have you comment on some of the feedback on the YouTube channel when the budget was being read, and get your insights and elevate the conversation again around some opportunities. At the end of the program, or at the end of this program, I want to challenge us not to bypass opportunities like these and seize the opportunities. And I have an anecdote to share with you how to seize opportunities purely by listening and listening intently. So may I ask Kyle to play a clip of the Minister of Finance, his presentation of the national budget. Have you queued that up, Kyle?
Yes.
Okay, so listeners, we want to focus a bit on and it's a short excerpt. It's no more than 6 minutes of the Minister of Finance's presentation. And then I want to dive into it and the implications for listening. And again, how do we listen? Do we listen for opportunities? Are we listening to simply rebut? Are we listening to get facts? Are we listening to get to emotion, the emotional content? Are we listening to build bonds, relationships? And then the skill of listening. And really and truly, as I said before, it was really too long. And however, one of these listening skills, one of these skills that very, very important in respect of the listening function is really selecting and to select information. And we select information maybe based on our interests. So I am a practitioner, I'm a professional communicator. I run a business and training and coaching and consulting. So I have to listen to see where are the opportunities. So some things I won't focus on at all in that 5 or 17 minutes. But then I focus on what does this mean for me, both in the direction or the direction of the country, the allocation provided for certain things, how do I need to shift my focus, right? So I want to invite us, and we're going to use this clip as an example of listening, and we also want to look at some of the comments from the YouTube channel, the parliamentary channel, when the minister was doing his presentation. I invite you to comment and let's take a deep dive into opportunities and listening. All right. So, Kai, Let's hear it.
No problem.
Now move to urban redevelopment. We are advancing infrastructural works in the cities of Port of Spain and San Fernando. The San Fernando Waterfront Reclamation Project, which commenced in July 2024, is expected to transform the area into a thriving hub for tourism, business, leisure, and cultural activities. The project will feature improved transportation facilities, expanded family-oriented spaces, and preservation of historical assets through sustainable urban design. In Port of Spain, we have commissioned the headquarters of the Ministry of Health and are currently upgrading the Port of Spain Magistrates Court. In terms of public buildings, the Urban Development Corporation has done tremendous work in the last 5 years, completing major projects and initiating construction on others. It's a long list. Arima Hospital, Point 14 Hospital, Diego Martin Health Center, Sangre Grande Hospital Campus. It's a long list. Port of Spain Central Block, that was just health. Madam Speaker, I'm going to have to start over. They're just quarreling, Madam Speaker.
Okay, so if we could have a little order so the minister could proceed. Yeah, I think everybody's looking to support you, but not in the right way. So we'll continue to support you by giving some silence. Continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me go back, since there was a lot of noise. In terms of public buildings, the Urban Development Corporation has done tremendous work in just the last 5 years, completing major projects and initiating construction on others, such as under health, Arima Hospital, Point 14 Hospital, Diego Martin Health Center, Sangre Grande Hospital Campus, Port of Spain Central Block. In national security, the Penal Fire Station, the Carenage Police Station, St. Clair Police Station, Point 14 Fire Station. Industry, Moruga Agro Processing and Light Industrial Park, Accommodation Portfolio, Customs and Excise San Fernando, Ministry of Health Headquarters, Historical Restoration, Whitehall, President's House, Red House, Meal Fleurs, Hayes Court, Eric Williams Memorial Library, Sports and Recreation, Diego Martin Sports Complex, Laventil Community Swimming Pool, Moruga Multipurpose Youth and Sport Facility, Morva Community Swimming Pool, Maloney Community Swimming Pool, Mahaika Sports Complex, Skinner Park, Desperados Pan Theatre, Dabadi Malabar Community Swimming Pool. In Tobago, Chauvin Road Police Station, Old Fort Hospital, Roxborough Administrative Complex, Roxborough Fire Station, Dwight York Stadium Refurbishment, Moriah Health Center, Roxborough Hospital, Calder Hall, Calder Hall, Calder Hall,
Order. Minister of Finance, continue.
Madam Speaker, they obviously cannot hear. Calder Hall Administrative Complex Expansion. Perhaps they don't know where that is. Policy Research and Development Institute Building and Community Development. An impressive list of projects. Chiclan Community Center, San Fernando North Community Center, Bagatelle Community Center, Bonaire South Community Center, Diego Martin Central Community Center, Indian Trail Community Center, Quarry Road Pitty Valley Community Center, Tarodale Community Center, Tishe Community Center, Lisa's Gardens Community Center, Matagagal Community Center, Maraval Community Center, Diego Martin North Community Center, Boseju Community Center, La Pastora Santa Cruz Community Center, Arima Community Center, Blanchishes Community Center, Cantaro Community Center, Diego Martin South Community Center, La Lune Community Center, Santa Flora Community Center, Taruba Community Center, Belmont Community Center, Cayman Community Center, Tagarico Community Center, Bellevue Community Center, Cascade Community Center, among others.
Thank you,
I heard about
we stopped right there at the Cascade. And it seems like a long laundry list. And hence the tendency for people to zone out, not be interested because it's a long list and you say, oh, cha, what is that about? And I want to drill down into the first project and share with you what one listener on YouTube said. The Minister of Finance spoke about the San Fernando waterfront reclamation project, which has started. Well, he said early this year, but if you know the history of that, it's really, really years ago. That project was on the drawing board, and of course, you know how politics play out in this country. One viewer on YouTube said, quote, them roads not putting food in our mouth, all them millions can go to back pay. And I reflected on that and made the connection with the waterfront project in San Fernando and the Point Fortin Highway and so on. And I'm originally from South. I'm from South. And those of you from South, or you travel South, you go down to Point Fortin, you would be aware of, before the highway extension, the new extension was completed last year, it would take us an hour or so to get from San Fernando to Point. And with the highway, the drive time, now I haven't used the highway as yet, have I? I can't recall. But the drive time has been shaved off. Oh, yes, I did. It's a few minutes, I think about 15 minutes or so. And the thing is, we listen to criticize a lot in this country because we listen with all kinds of lenses, racism, classism, all these lenses. And as one YouTuber says, this is the Trinidad and Tobago is the only country, and here it is, Trinidad and Tobago is the only country where some people complain about hard times while sitting in a brand new car, big screen TV, and two women, and two outside women or man. So we have a passion for complaining and not seeing opportunities. So I was talking about the San Fernando waterfront reclamation project, and the opportunities presented by the waterfront project for business, the opportunities for leisure, the opportunities for connecting people and so on. Family activities, family recreational activities. And I want to take a circle back to the waterfront, to the Point Fortin Highway. When we would travel from Port of Spain to San Fernando and so on, once upon a time, and it took so long, we had to wake up very early to reach in Port of Spain for a particular time. So by having the highway, the new highway extension, shave off so much of time, there is an improvement in quality of life because you don't have to get up so early to commute from San Fernando to Point, or Point people coming into Port of Spain, right? So when there's a litany of woes and complaints, we're not listening for the opportunities and benefits presented. Again, it's a long laundry list, but if we listen with an ear for opportunity, with an ear for benefits, we could glean, we could learn, we can seize opportunities. The quality of life, I'm sure, if you don't have to get up 4 o'clock, to get dressed to 5, to leave 5, to reach in Port of Spain for 8 o'clock, immediately you could see benefits to improve quality of life. And also, the people who say, hey, you know, they're putting food, them roads are putting food on the table and so on, they're not listening for the opportunity for business, not listening for the opportunity for connecting people, for leisure, for tourism activities. So what do you do with viewers and callers like that? We know who are really conscious and who are wanting to seize on opportunities And the tendency is that we could feel it's a pipe dream. We could feel with all the negativity around, we could feel discouraged. We'll say, hey, this budget have nothing to do with me. And a lot of people have that kind of attitude, have nothing to do with me. If they don't see a handout of $5 increase in the minimum wage or $5 increase in food grant or something like that, they'll say, oh, this have nothing in it for me. However, those who have eyes to see and ears to hear would listen to these housing developments that the government are talking about, and they're putting mixed-use commercial and residential. How could I seize the opportunity presented? I am fascinated when I see a number of small entrepreneurs having pop-up stores and these wonderful people who say, hey, there's an opportunity wherever people gather, wherever you can connect people, there's an opportunity for business. So they don't have time to go on YouTube and say this is not putting money in your pocket. They're seizing opportunities. They're listening for opportunities. And I want to invite us to listen for opportunities. Right? That waterfront project, and you know what? I know some of, this is Trinidad, and some of these things on lockdown already, the who's and so on. This is how things run in this country. However, we cannot just lay back and complain, sit back and complain as if, this is not affecting me. But we need to listen. And that's why, we pay my company in our communications training. That listening component is a key thing because we miss out on a lot of opportunities if we don't know the art and skill of listening. And this budget speech, although it's very long, there are a lot of opportunities if, one, we listen, if we are prepared, because it is said that prosperity happens when preparation meets opportunity. But if we're not listening for opportunity, we will not prosper. We'll miss so many things. So this is the first sort of takeaway from the budget and listening to the budget that I found quite useful. I want you to comment. Let's get the number. I think it's 3420081. We'll open up the lines for your comment, for your feedback, for your questions around listening for opportunities and using this example of the national budget. Kyle, could you repeat the numbers for our callers?
No problem. The numbers are 3420081 and 466-5391.
466-5391, 342-0081. The numbers again, 342-0081, 566-391, is that it?
466, but you have a caller.
466, thank you. Hi, caller, good day to you.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Hi, I'm good by God's grace. How are you?
Always good to hear you. Always good to hear you. And I think you have zeroed in on a very important subject this morning. That business of looking for opportunities, And while I agree that the budget statement was pretty long, there's always a concern in previous budgets. You hear the comment, generally headline is, the budget was short on details. Over the last 4 years, the Minister of Finance did not give us enough details. Because I'll tell you what, there's a focus on the budget, and close to 20,000 people looked at the Minister of Finance. But now when you go to the other ministers, you will not get as much. But let me come to the exact point you're making. I want to say, I don't know if we have forgotten that in that list of projects we call there, it created a very important thing for the public employment. Huh? What about all the masons and the electricians and the plumbers and the painters that we use?
The Foundation for Healing Conversations is a Christian faith community transforming lives through healing conversations. The foundation is currently engaged in transforming the community of Embarcadero in San Fernando. We are working with young men 17 years and over, equipping them with entrepreneurial skills, agriculture, spiritual and attitudinal mindset shifts. To partner with us and experience community transformation at its finest, visit our Facebook page, the Foundation for Healing Conversations, or call us on 398-5013 and become a member of the Foundation for Healing Conversations. I am Dr. Madonna, and I approve this message.
These ads are pre-programmed,
Madonna?
so the ads are pre-programmed, so it went into your comment. Feel free to call us again. I think you're making a very good point about the employment opportunity.
I am still here, Doc. Are you hearing me?
Our caller still there?
Yes, I'm here. Are you hearing me, Doc?
Oh, right. So continue with your point, and you're saying
Yes.
that these projects provide employment opportunities. Am I correct?
Yes. And I'm saying that when you talk about opportunities, you talk about the opportunities after. But one of the persons that responded said doesn't put food on the table. But that those projects, the constructional projects, put food on the table for thousands of persons, you know. Because if those buildings appear just like abracadabra, you know, they were built by masons, electricians, plumbers, painters, laborers. A whole set of skills went in there to build those things. Let me give you an example. For example, in the refurbishment and upgrade of the parliament, there's a data that tells us 3,200 persons were employed. 3,200 persons. And they were employed and putting food on the table. So when you see infrastructure projects, one of the greatest benefits, even before they finish, is the creation of employment for a wide range of persons, skilled and unskilled. For example, you spoke about, you mentioned in the zone debate, you mentioned the swimming pools. My wife attends one of those new swimming pools there in grandchildren. They get an opportunity to learn to swim. They get an opportunity to get involved in aquatic activities. And I want to tell you, those programs are oversubscribed in the facilities. You have to really go and register early. So a lot of people are making full use of them. So I thought, and for example, like the Tacarigua Community Center, I am aware because I live in the East. Before they had a community center where the number of persons could attend any function, there was below 100. Now they have an auditorium with accommodate over 500 persons. And that Tacarigua Center is now the hub of community events in the area, bingos, all sorts of events, training people in data, in digital awareness, and a whole lot of things coming to the young people. And the seniors are getting there as well to get involved in digital awareness and things like that. So these infrastructure projects are very, very important. They create employment during construction, and after that, they are based in particular areas where they have a high level of usage. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Oh, quite a rich contribution. Thank you so very much. And you know, you spoke about that Thackeray, the community centers and so on. And it's something I wanted to point out later on in the program, but you've introduced something that is very important in respect of the implications, again, for community transformation, collaboration, youth empowerment, by creating a physical space called a community center. And thank you for pointing that out. You know, there was a caller, a YouTuber, who said concerning the community centers, he or she said that nobody using the centers, they close most times. And I wanted to really focus on that. But let's see if we have another caller, and I'll come back to that. Do you have another caller, Kat?
A pleasant good morning to the amazing Spider Woman, Dr. McDonough Doyle. Are you hearing me? Oh,
caller?
What's happening? Hello, you hearing me?
I'm getting some distortions.
What's happening?
Could you start over?
Okay, I was commending you as the amazing Spider Woman. You still hearing me? What's wrong with it?
There's some distortion there. I know the caller is speaking, but I'm not hearing clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, one second.
But I'm hearing you very clearly. Maybe Kyle needs Pastor over next to him. Come on, Kyle. Come on. Get your technology. It's not working. And I had so much to say.
So can you hear now?
Mm-hmm.
You hearing me? You hearing me?
Not clearly. Kyle, can you share with me what the caller said? I don't want to miss it.
Kyle, something wrong with the technology on your part. Check your knobs. Oh dear. Oh.
Caller?
Yes, you hearing me now?
Can you? Yeah, you can go ahead. Make
Mm.
comment.
You hearing me now, Dr. Doyle?
No, she still can't hear you, but I
No,
will
you're not.
explain to her what you said.
Well, I wanted to refer to her as the amazing Spider Lady, Spider Woman, who I listen to every time. My name is Merlin. She would remember the name Merlin I usually call. But the gentleman before said it all. He said it all. And I really wanted to talk direct with her, so I will wait for another opportunity. Thank you, Kyle. You know, your name is not
Thank you,
Kyle.
caller. Yes,
Your name is not
okay.
Kyle.
No
You
problem.
hearing me
Yes.
now, doctor? Yeah, so you heard me refer to you as as the amazing Spider Woman, right?
Spider Woman, is it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're amazing. When I listen to you on this day at 76, I am
Really?
still learning. Yes, and I was so proud of the gentleman who got in before me. And I want to tell the young people out there to get with it, get involved with associations. I passed through the National Association of Administrative Professionals, formerly National Secretaries Association, at the age of
Sure.
16.
Sure.
And I'm still a member. And I guess this is why I'm able to speak on the phone. So many people are afraid to do so. But I am really saying now, encourage. Let's encourage ambition and inspire hope with the young
Thank you.
ones, because soon we won't be here, and you all have to carry the fort. Kyle, do a little more training with the border, because you put us in a little spot today to get through.
Hmm.
Uh,
So
I
here's
will try
what, we
again.
had
I'd
some
feel in
discussion,
your
but I picked up some elements of what you said. So thank you so very much, and
yeah.
let's connect.
Right, you are amazing, amazing. So I will try to connect with you at the appropriate time. As I told you, I am 76, but I don't know where I get in this power to continue to educate myself from your program and other programs as
Wonderful.
well. So God bless. Yes, God bless you all. I
Received.
will call you one day, as soon as I can settle down my property. I'm now going through some strain with my property, trying to fix roof and things like that.
All
So
right.
I will come to you as soon as I can spare the time, maybe to share
Brilliant. I
knowledge,
appreciate
encourage
that.
ambition. All right, thanks. Nice talking to you, Dr. Doyle.
Thank you so very much, and have a beautiful day. Thank you, Kyle. There was some distortion there. I'm not sure if it's coming from her phone or back on your side. Do we have another caller?
Not at the moment.
Okay, great. So I shouldn't say great, but let me continue and invite the callers 342-0081 and 4665391 to amplify this conversation. My first point is about the importance of listening for opportunities. And I used the national budget presented by the Minister of Finance on Budget Day, September 30th. I admit, and the person said, it was, I think, too long. Too long of a speech, which really stretch your ability to select the information that may be relevant to you, and really it was challenging to concentrate and listen. However, and I used the excerpt when the Minister of Finance was talking about the urban infrastructure, and from the San Fernando waterfront project straight to the community centers. And while it presented like a long list, inside of that list, and if we have the ability to listen for opportunities, inside of that list, there are wonderful nuggets and possibilities. And it depends on what we listen for and how we listen. I also pointed out that we filter what we hear, and that's normal. But some of our filters are not serving us, filters of racism and classism and negativity, because we complain a lot in this country. And those filters impact on how we listen and what we listen to. And I shared, for example, with the expansion of the highway from San Fernando to Point 14, one of the benefits is an improved quality of life. And I shared from my experience of coming from south to Port of Spain, where you had to wake up so early to reach to work on time. But if you have a highway that shaves off 45 minutes of the commute, you can sleep a little longer and you're less cranky when you're going home. So the quality of life is improved, and also the opportunities for business, the opportunities for leisure, the opportunities for tourism and family recreation. Both the highway between San Fernando and Point and the waterfront project. So it depends on how we listen, what we listen to, and our filters, how we select information.
We have another caller.
Sorry, Kyle, you have a caller?
Yes.
Sure. May I listen?
Yes. Hello, caller.
Pleasant morning to you.
And a good morning to you
in
too.
the name of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I have been listening to this program for quite a while. And what I am looking at is after you take all this training and all this lecturing, and you're going out on the field, and somebody hang a black ball over here, what you going to do now? What you going to do? Because
the quality of the call is dropping, so I'm having a challenge. After the initial greeting, I'm having a challenge hearing the caller clearly. Could you assist?
1 second.
Hello?
Hello, caller.
Yes.
Okay, better.
Continue.
Yes, I was saying, after you take all this training and all this lecturing, and you go out in the field, and some smart person hang a black ball over here, what are you going to do now? How are you going to defend yourself? Because this is what happened to me, and I end up to be worse. Now they're telling me all my complaint is statutory bar. It's good complaint, but they are statute bar. So I don't know what I will do now. I might arm myself and attack people, and then everybody start to say, you could have come to me, I would have helped. You could have come to me, I would have helped. Years I have been crying out, years, and nobody hearing. I don't know why. Thank you.
Okay, no. Miss Madonna?
Yes.
He finished.
Okay. So there was a lot of distortion, so I missed. Can you summarize what the caller said?
He was saying that his last statement was he's been crying out for years and nobody heard him.
About? Okay, Kai. Let me continue. Is there another caller?
Not at the moment.
Okay. So the key thing, and this is a really practical example about listening, you know. There are physical challenges around listening and also abilities. There's some skills in listening called paraphrasing and summarizing. Those are also key listening skills. Now, the caller, two callers before, was talking about the community centers. I think he referenced the Tacarigua one. And it was something that I had noticed when the finance minister detailed his list of urban development initiatives. And I'm glad that the caller referenced the Tacarigua, but because I have experience with other community centers, and a YouTube viewer said, nobody using the centers, they close most times. And I think there is some merit in that observation by the YouTube viewer. But as the caller said, in the Tacarigua Center, that's not the case. So it depends really on your personal experience. And sometimes, very often, the personal experience doesn't speak about the whole thing. So I know of centers in which the politics cascade down at the level of the community, the adversarial politics, the yellow tribe and the red tribe, so that people who are aligned either way may or may not get access to community center, may or may not be involved in community activities based on the partisan politics. So it can impact on and can lead to this caller, the viewer saying, nobody using the centers, they close most times, right? But the caller who identified what was going on with the Tacarigua Community Center has a different experience. So when we go on a platform as widespread, as popular as YouTube, and we just put our individual, maybe partisan or sectarian view, it goes to the whole world as if that is a fact concerning Trinidad and Tobago. But it's our personal experience. It could be through our lens, political lens, through which we write in these things. We could be paid bloggers and viewers and so on, advancing some sort of sectarian interest. But it does not do the country any good. It distorts the reality, and it doesn't enhance the quality of discourse. Call me at 342-0081 or 4665391 about this particular example. The Minister of Finance had a long list of urban redevelopment and urban infrastructural projects, including new community centers. And we have a YouTube viewer saying, hey, them always close. It makes no sense, right? Because there's nobody using. You hear that? Nobody using these centers. They close most times, right? What are your thoughts about this? About this? And again, the minister is saying something. Our earlier caller says, hey, the community centers are a hub for us, a vital hub for us, a vital contribution. But a YouTube viewer says, no, make no sense. Centers close most of the time. Waste of time, nobody using it. Your comments, 342-0081 or 4665391. Do we have a caller, Kyle?
Not at the moment, no.
Right. Okay, great. So we are listening, and again, we listen through our partisan lens. We listen through parties are politics, parties are class, parties are, and sometimes we just there home doing nothing. And we have, there's an expression I use, some people talk because they have something to say, and some people talk because they have to say something. You just have to open your mouth and parrot something. And then you go into the public space like a YouTube, and you put down something there as if it is the gospel truth.
We have a caller now, Miss Madonna.
Thank you, Kyle. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dr. Madonna, and to your assistant host there, and to everybody else. Doctor, I think the complainer's line is too long. The community center, like they said, is for us. It's all we have to do is occupy it. You see, we wait on somebody else and then say, if I did know. No. You have everything in front of you. And the government working for you, like you said, Dr. Madonna. The government is working for us. They're putting out things here. So it's up to us to occupy it. The community center is for you in the community. So don't wait and complain and do all of that. Get your people together. You have to communicate. You have to gather. You have to socialize. And then you know, oh, we can do it together. Thank you, Dr. Madonna.
That's a good point. I heard the tail end, and so you can help me if I got you wrong. You're speaking about those spaces as providing opportunities for people to come together. I got you correctly?
She hung up. Say all the opportunities are right in front of you.
And people need to both listen and seize the opportunity. You know, there is Kyle, you can interrupt me if you get a caller. There is something that I use. I developed a presentation around the lizard and how the lizard seizes opportunities. It's based on a scripture in Proverbs that talks about the small things, small creatures on the earth. They're very small, but we can learn they're wise. They're small and wise. And it talks about the lizard. Even though you can hold the lizard in your hand, it is so wise. And a couple of the things that I've shared in my training groups is that the lizard knows how to seize opportunities. So we as human beings created in the image and likeness of God, some of us sit down who have nothing to do but criticizing everything, even the wind we criticize. But the lizard that you can hold in your hand, and what the lizard is looking for, the lizard is looking for food, the lizard is looking for a mate. So the lizard stands in front of, and the Bible talks about a king's palace. And it sees these high walls. And the lizard doesn't care if about that high wall. The lizard finds a space. It could be a little crack. And the lizard would go through, go under, go around, go over, because the lizard knows how to seize opportunities.
We have a caller.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Good morning, caller.
Dr. Madonna, it's me. When you said you got the tail end, but you just explained it too. You just explained everything I was talking about, the opportunity, the complainers, and the need to socialize and also get together to get what you want done with each other. So, take care. You got it? Hello?
Hello, caller.
Caller?
Yeah, did she hear what I said?
No, I'm just saying, Kyle, there's too much distortion on these calls. I don't know why. Just now as you said hello, I heard you, and then nothing after.
Yeah. Oh, you hearing me now? Or maybe you can play it back.
Yes, caller.
Because I'm not hearing yours.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you, Miss Madonna. She was just saying that you was reiterating everything she just said.
We're on the same page, sweetie.
Yes.
So yes, so you have a small creature that says, "Listen, I'm focused. I'm focused on food. I'm focused on getting a mate. And there may be obstacles in front of me, but I don't care. I will find an opportunity." And the Bible says you can learn so much wisdom from these very small creatures. So the minister, so we get, okay, the speech was too long, that's a given. But we as human beings, we can select out of that long list the things, the opportunities that are in line with our purpose, in line with our goals. And prosperity happens when preparation meets opportunities. But if you're not listening for opportunities, and if you're not preparing yourself, you will sit, there's a calypso, sit by the bank of the river and call it bad and bad, talk the river.
30 seconds until ads, Miss Madonna.
Yes, sir?
30 seconds.
All right. Thank you so very much. So my challenge to us all is to listen. Listen for opportunities. Don't get sidetracked, and listen with purpose and intention. I thank you very much for your patience, for your time. And this has been Dr. Madonna on Words Matter. Blessings.
If you want greater respect from your bankers, bosses, those in authority, then words matter. If you want more productive business relationships with coworkers, customers, or clients, then join Dr. Madonna on the street, 919 FM, every Monday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon for Words Matter. Communication for joyful workplaces. Dr. Madonna will help you unlock the secret power of words for your financial, relationship, and physical well-being. Whether you work at home, on the road, or in an organization, join Dr. Madonna every Monday, 11 a.m. to 12